a special good morning to our listeners, special good morning to our viewers. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. It's Monday, the 17th day of November, 2025. We are way past the midway mark within the month of November. How time flies. Let's say hello and good morning to those of you via social media platforms, Facebook page, YouTube channels. Good morning. Welcome. And certainly happy to have you folks chiming in on us this morning here on To The Point. With me this morning, once again, is Mr. Richard McPhail. He's kind of tapping in for Mr. Sylvan McIntyre. My usual, I like to refer to him as my co-pilot sometimes, of course, but Mr. McPhail is chiming in for him. Mr. McPhail, good morning. Welcome, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, GT, and good morning to your listeners. I'm doing pretty good.
All right. What a weekend. What was the weekend, man? How was the weekend?
It was a quiet weekend. Looked at the launching yesterday of Grenada's newest political party.
Okay. Didn't get a chance to chime into it. I didn't get a chance to look at it yesterday, but I always kind of divert my mind somewhat into other things of especially of a technical nature.
Right.
I cannot put my energy to that a whole lot when the weekend comes around.
Okay.
And that is where my focus was a whole lot, was in the Granatang area for a wee bit. Spent a couple of hours up there for really well taking care of things up there, and that's where my passion is after being here. So our focus on this program is usually to keep folks abreast, especially with happenings, things of a hazardous nature, emergencies and so forth, how it's handled, especially with Mr. McIntyre. He has a passion for that.
Yeah.
You understand, and it's something of that he has certainly made his career about. So good morning, Mr. McIntyre. He's out there in Jamaica right now. We know what happened in Jamaica a couple of weeks ago, the devastation, the way it is, and of course his technical capabilities is always needed sometimes, in that particular capacity when incidents of this nature occur.
Well, November is quickly coming to a close, and so is the hurricane season. And so far, things seem to have quietened down a bit.
I'm looking at was it television early this morning, and I'm looking at some parts in the U.S. flooding. So they're saying is like they're getting some late.
But I was specifically speaking.
You're talking about this part of the region, our part of the region.
Yes,
we've been getting some rains too.
We've been getting rains, but November is known to be the wettest month of the year.
So true. Comparison to last year, remember we had those floodings and so forth last year.
But this year we have not had that much rain in November. For whatever reason, I can't say.
I mean, I know there are individuals out there who need the rain, especially the farmers and so forth. They need the rain. There are individuals, sometimes it's they only depending on their location on the island. Sometimes
the only source of water.
Right. Especially the folks of Carriacou and so forth, they will love when it rains.
Yes.
So sometimes when it's not happening, we know the effect it's going to have when we get into the new year, when we tap into the dry season. So I certainly hope folks are making use of the little that we're getting, that we are receiving right now.
There are quite a number of persons actually into rainwater harvesting now.
Yes.
The Ministry of Agriculture is also encouraging farmers. I've been
suddenly hearing of an initiative that is ongoing, or maybe they are now in the process of expanding on it a wee bit in terms of rainwater harvesting. You understand, expanding on it a whole bit, and it's good.
Well, I myself am a beneficiary of the rainwater harvesting project.
Okay. And you are seeing the benefits of it for you directly.
Yes.
All right. Interesting to note. So as we get into the mecca for our conversation this morning, we're going to read you for a break. Let's take it. And when we come back, we get into our conversation. We want to talk a lot about the usage of the roads, conditions of the roads still. And we wish that the authority would put more attention into certain parts, bits of the nature and the, should I say, the excessive use of it for pedestrian mode drivers and other road users, which means, so sometimes we understand the nature of projects have to take place, but sometimes you have to put into consideration the road users themselves also. When we take a break, when we come back, we get into that conversation. Stay with us, folks. To the point, Classic Radio GBN TV. We will be right back after the break. Don't touch it out.
ready, Grenada. The Grenadian General Insurance Half Marathon and 10K Road Race is on. Sunday, November 16th. The Half Marathon kicks off at Corinth Junction, St. David's, and the 10K from Wyman's House, Woodlands, with both culminating at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Monetary prizes await the top 10 finishers in the Half Marathon and the top 5 in the 10K. The oldest.
The 15th annual Wagiti Carib Super Knockout Football Tournament moves into the quarterfinal round. Week 5 starts this Saturday, November 15th from 7 p.m. with 2 big games. Game 1, Caribbean National St. John's.
Grenada Get Ready, GBN, the Ministry of Education, and the Division of Culture proudly presents Christmas Harmony 1.0, the inaugural primary school carol singing competition. Join us on Friday, December the 5th at 1 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Magical voices, festive spirit, and exciting competition await. Tickets, adults $10, children $5. Christmas Harmony 1.0, no better place to be. Be there.
This Christmas, GBN is lighting up Grenada. From November the 10th to December the 24th, your festive season starts right here with GBN's Christmas Catalog 2025. Start your mornings with mid-morning magic. Weekdays 10 to 12, live fun, giveaways, and Christmas cheer every day. On Friday, December the 5th, the school's Christmas challenge lights up the Trade Center. 15 schools, 1 trophy, and the voices filled with holiday joy. Then on Saturday, December the 20th, it's Christmas in Kamahan. Live music, food, shopping, toy giveaway, and the grand tree lighting ceremony. And on Monday, December the 22nd, join GBN's Caroling in the City, spreading Christmas cheer all through St. George's. Every Sunday from 5 to 7, enjoy Yuletide Sundays with classic Christmas tunes and prices galore. And from December the 1st, K105's Lights of Christmas. Guess that hidden cash and win. So whether you're singing, shopping, or celebrating, do it with GBN. Connecting with you this Christmas. Our partners making it possible: Flow, Ace Hardware, Foodland Supermarket, Grenada Duty Free, Answer Coating, Banfields, and Koyaba Beach Resort. GBN's Christmas Catalog, connecting you this season.
Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers. It's to the point here on the Classic Radio and GBN TV. I'm your host, the GT. I'll simply go with those initials. And of course, Mr. McPhail with me this morning. And Mr. McPhail, you know, off air we were talking about the roads, the conditions of the roads. And for you, there are some concerns that you will certainly like to see the authority put some attention into, especially our roads and stuff. Let's hear from you in relation to that as we follow through.
We are, as citizens, we are very happy about the water projects.
Yes.
Right? I say that from the outset. However, the snail pace at which these projects are moving, right? Now, case in point, along the Eastern Main Road, Calvini.
Yes.
You have 2 what appears to be manholes. One at the bottom of Coco Road, and one on a corner close to Grappy Shop. Mm-hmm. Now that corner is a blind corner, and I'm surprised that it's been over 6 weeks now. That hole is there, and there's no move being made to cover it up.
Okay.
For whatever reason it's open, I don't know. But I'm also surprised that we have not had an accident there just yet.
So we should say thank God for that, right?
Yeah, because as I say, it's a blind corner, and the contractor doesn't seem to care. You know, when
you say the contractor doesn't seem to care, is it the main responsibility of the contractor, or is it the main responsibility of the maybe if it's Nawasa that is one that is subtracting for that particular purpose to make sure to tell the contractor, hey, you have a timeline in terms of how these things should be taken care of, or is it the Ministry of Works?
No, it's not the Ministry of Works.
You understand? But I'm just looking for coming around that framework with hey, there's a timeline for these things to be taken care of. Yeah. We know how things are done in Grenada over the years, but we're looking for things to be different. And a program like this is what we do to highlight these things to get a difference in terms of how the approach of how things are done.
The other trenches that were dug, where the pipes were laid, these are covered.
They are covered.
They're not paved, but they're
that
covered.
Specific one that you're complaining,
but those
you say
two,
there's a manhole,
right?
And do you take a look at it physically to read the reason why they haven't covered it?
No. Well, I looked at it, but I can't figure the reason why.
Why they haven't been covered.
Why it haven't been covered.
And you saying it's a hazard for say in time to come.
Yeah.
You understand? Think about someone driving at night. You know,
on mornings
attention
at 7 o'clock. That traffic is terrible. I mean, it was terrible prior to that obstruction, but now it's even worse.
So that I was just going to actually get is the whole mistake, because I haven't traversed that area in a wee bit. The obstruction is causing a lot of problems.
Yeah. And like I say, it's on a blind corner. So you're coming from St. George's, and you get there. You might have about a 15-minute wait on a morning time before you can.
But isn't the authorities paying attention to that traffic department and all of these things? Because, you know, it includes everyone, yeah? It includes everyone.
When you listen to the traffic report on mornings, when Innocent is here, and they call in from traffic giving a report, they would talk about the Calvini traffic is moving slow, snail pace. Bumper to bumper.
What's been done to rectify that problem in the soonest?
Well, part of the problem, I would tell you, in Calvini, now, you have persons coming down from St. David's, Grenville, people coming from Laborie, coming onto the Calvini main road, right? Monjolu, same thing, on the cliff. Now, most of these persons are going to Grand Anse or coming to St. George's. They're all trying to access one small road called Toby Road, which brings you by Sugar Factory. Nobody is thinking of using the Woburn Road. Now, I have used the Woburn Road because I got caught in Calvini one morning. And there was absolutely no traffic in front of me.
So you saved a good 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, because the traffic I met was traffic coming from Grand Anse. Which, you know, obviously because of the Cliff Project. Right. So everybody's trying to go down Toby Road. And nobody's using an alternative route. You get down to Grand Anse now. You get to Hubbard's, for example. Well, not even Hubbard's. You get to Mount Hartman. You're going to Point Celine, or you're going to True Blue, or even Lansapine. You walk there. And you're not thinking of taking the Mount Hartman Road. Get onto the Lansapine Road. Use Dusty Highway to go down. Or to go inside Lansapine. Everybody's going through that bottleneck by Hubbard's. Sugar Mill Roundabout. Everybody. And when you look at the faces, you see the same faces every morning.
Who are using
that route.
And nobody's thinking of doing something else.
Everybody's complaining that the traffic is not moving. But there are alternative routes. Right? I don't see why I'm coming from Guelph or the western side, for example, and will pass through the city. You can go up Cemetery Hill. You can go up Maras Hill and avoid that congestion in the city. But they're going through the city and then complain.
But you know, Maras Hill is becoming a problem too on mornings, eh?
Yes, because the school and... Right.
I always think the solution is having... Let's say the traffic department, having officers placed in strategic points to help. Although some folks complain that the officers do slow the traffic down.
I think so.
I have no disrespect to the officers. They complain that the officers do slow the traffic down because sometimes they will stop one section of the traffic from coming and allow 50 to 60 cars to pass. And then you have another 100. Yeah, maybe I'm exaggerating, but to wait. Yeah. I think sometimes they slow it down more than anything else. But I'm saying if they have these officers placed in strategic points, that will help to divert the traffic. You understand? If I allow 5 cars to go this way and 5 cars to go this way, you will have an ease in terms of the traffic congestion. But sometimes no one is putting these ideas into play.
And again, well, I always boast to my Caribbean friends that in Grenada we may not have the best surfaces, right, in terms of the road, but in the Caribbean we have the best network of roads.
I would agree.
The best network. For example, another example, you come down Toby Road, go into Grandans. You don't need to go through that Grandans Valley and deal with the traffic. You go through the back of the sugar factory,
yes,
up to Golf Course, and you're in Grandans. But nobody.
Is it that folks not understanding these or don't have no knowledge of these particular alternative routes? That would you believe that's primarily maybe the problem?
That may be the problem in terms of the knowledge of the routes. Because I remember giving someone a ride to pick up a car in Golf Course. I was going to Golf Course, and when I swing behind the sugar factory, the person asked me, "But it's Golf Course I'm going." I said, "Yeah, Golf Course you're going." And the road is it has just recently been resurfaced.
And I think it was actually done to accommodate traffic for that project that's taking place there. Yeah.
So it's a matter of finding alternatives. You're coming up from Grandans on mornings, you see from MTV going down, bumper to bumper again.
But would you think it'd be nice if we could get a program done, maybe television, radio, where the traffic department could come and extend some knowledge to individuals, especially with the alternative routes that folks can take?
Well, I would not want to assume, but I would ask if they know of the alternative routes.
Well, I mean, I've seen getting used to it. I mean, someone within the authorities get to understand these routes, which could alleviate a lot of the traffic congestion that we have.
A lot.
The basic of learning. Someone is at home, they're listening. It could be accommodated on our show, where someone come and just explaining this route. Get a chart up via the television or something where someone have these drafted. I'm sure there are charts to draft out that of the roads and so forth to network, and where folks could say, hey, you could go there and go there. It could help you save a couple of minutes on your journey on a daily basis.
And then the gadgets.
Yeah.
A lot of persons use phones, and you have Google Maps.
Yeah.
So you can search there, and you can find some of the alternative routes.
Oh, man. I mean, it's important that folks learn that now, but are we ready for that nature of it, would you say? Especially when it comes around to the use of the gadgets while we drive.
Oh well, not certainly not while you're driving. Certainly not while you're driving, because.
But I mean, cars are something.
If you're driving,
cars are something
and you're texting, who's driving?
I would not encourage that.
Yes,
absolutely not. Not texting and driving. But I'm saying there are ways now you could connect your phone to your whatever your radio or car when your vehicle and so forth, and you could probably listen while you pay attention while you're driving. With directions could be given to you by, of course, whatever gadget you have. You understand? So that I was talking about it in that particular capacity. So there's a lot for us to do. And I think folks have a tendency of going. We have a tendency, especially here in Grenada, to go down one particular track for some reason or the other. And that's what we know, so that's what we use.
And that's what we use.
And if we just divert from time to time, it will make life a whole lot easier. We think, well, we could use the Springs Road. Everybody will use the Springs Road. Well, there's an alternative route could take you around the other way and get you there and save you 15 to 20 minutes of your stay in traffic. You understand?
Certainly.
It's interesting to know. So
back to the conditions of the road, because of the projects, the Nawasa projects, for example. Last week, I think it was on Beyond the Headlines.
Yes.
It was stated categorically that on Wednesday night
we should see some improvements. Yes.
But to date, GT, this is Monday morning. Not a pound of asphalt has been laid on the Grandlands Road.
But then we haven't even heard the reasons why it hasn't been done. Yeah. Have you heard anything or reason why it hasn't happened as yet?
No. It was stated that on Wednesday night, and it was very emphatic, but nothing. So it's more or less a one-lane road now, because drivers don't want to drive on the side because of the condition. So they tend to swerve to the right.
Which is dangerous for other road users.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah. Because you may feel, well, I'm not going to put my car down in that whole or that bad portion of the road for some reason. It could be the nature of the type of car I have. If I go there, it could cost me money.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put my car there. You understand? So I'm staying on the good surface. I understand that. I have noticed someone driving like that the other day, and I said, well, he's on my side of the road just because he doesn't want to go there. And I understand that. I understand.
Even Grande Tang. I mean, I was amazed going over Grande Tang and to see that.
Yes, that has been. There's a portion of that as I have noticed it over the weekend. I've been using the road there over the weekend.
I saw it over the weekend myself.
That has been left like that for a period of time now. You know, and I think it's something that should be taken care of. You know, as bad as it was before whatever took place there, it was a better, easier way of using it. You understand? Because we understand our origin for the next driver to come. Now we see that extra space there. We don't want to go off the road in that bad portion there. No.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's been like that for a period of time now, a couple of weeks. Well, more than 2 months, I would say. You understand? I would say that's been left that since August, around August. And I think something should be done about that. You know, reasons are reasons why we don't know, because sometimes we don't hear the authorities speaking about these things enough. Yeah. For various reasons. Why is it not?
It could be valid reasons.
It could be valid reasons, you know, material wise, whatever. It's understandable, but it would be nice if we just hear something or reason why these are not happening.
Yeah.
You know, and these are the things that we think we need a bit of improvement on.
I was surprised because I haven't gone to Grenville, St. Andrews, using the Grande Tang route in a while. I prefer the Eastern Main Road.
Side, yes.
So I was really surprised when I saw that.
Interesting to know. Well, I certainly hope that, you know, our program sometimes stimulate those conversations in terms of a move being made or statements being made in terms of that. And we see some action taking place. So now that we have spoken about it this morning, we certainly hope we see some action and some improvements taking place.
And then the Grandans project now, the UK SIF project in the south. I gather that the paving would start from the traffic light by Food Fair.
Yeah.
But the road was dug from Point Saline.
So why are you starting there?
So why start in the middle of the project?
Is it a logistics in terms of starting there and going this way, or what?
And then I'm not sure which way is going. You know.
That sounds a little bit off for some reason. Sounds a little bit off. Well, as we mentioned, we certainly hope that this conversation would stir some action, you know, because, you know, sometimes it has to be spoken about to get some action, taking place. And I certainly hope that we see, from tomorrow we see something taking place, because it's gotten to a stage where we become a little bit worrisome.
Yes,
you know, we gotten a little bit worried in terms of how the condition that it is. We understand, because if the authorities know this is that particular area is one of the most used areas on island. You know, everybody goes to Glen.
Yes.
You understand? A lot of folks use that particular direction for various reasons. Think about visitors coming to the island. You know, and we understand the nature of the work that is taking place. It was needed.
Yes.
Particularly, I mean, we're certainly happy for it. But something needs to be done in terms of picking up the piece, in terms of especially the repair after what was taking place. All right. So, Mark, we do for a break. Let's take it. We come back. We have another interesting conversation. We come back. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point. Classic Radio GBN TV. We will be right back after the break. Stay with us.
This holiday season, let the Monica Benoit Wonderland of Lights lead the way to Christmas at the Point. Starting November 30th, the Quarantine Point Recreational Park transforms into a glowing wonderland with dazzling light displays that are the true showstoppers of the season. Take a magical tuk-tuk tunnel ride through twinkling arches. Explore Santa's grotto, cozy up with a picnic blanket under the stars, and savor delicious Eid treats from local vendors. Entry is just $5 for walk-ins, $10 per carload, and $20 for premium carload parking. Plus, grab a cozy picnic blanket for only $40 and enjoy the season in style. Special pricing applies for New Year's Eve. Visit our Instagram or Facebook pages at Rotary Club of Grenada Events for more details. It's holiday fun for the entire family every night from 5 p.m. till midnight, and it all supports the charitable work of the Rotary Club of Grenada. Christmas at the Point. When the sun sets, the wonder begins. Mark your calendars. It all begins November 30th.
Grenada Get Ready, GBN, the Ministry of Education, and the Division of Culture proudly presents Christmas Harmony 1.0, the inaugural primary school carol singing competition. Join us on Friday, December the 5th at 1 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Magical voices, festive spirit, and exciting competition await. Tickets, adults $10, children $5. Christmas Harmony 1.0, no better place to be. Be there.
This Christmas, GBN is lighting up Grenada. From November the 10th to December the 24th, your festive season starts right here with GBN's Christmas Catalog 2025. Start your mornings with mid-morning magic. Weekdays 10 to 12, live fun, giveaways, and Christmas cheer every day. On Friday, December the 5th, the school's Christmas challenge lights up the Trade Center. 15 schools, 1 trophy, and the voices filled with holiday joy. Then on Saturday, December the 20th, it's Christmas in Kamahan. Live music, food, shopping, toy giveaway, and the grand tree lighting ceremony. And on Monday, December the 22nd, join GBN's Caroling in the City, spreading Christmas cheer all through St. George's. Every Sunday from 5 to 7, enjoy Utah Sundays with classic Christmas tunes.
Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again to The Point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. Mr. McPhail will be back. Our next segment of the conversation we want to talk about is not a new conversation that we're speaking about. There have been some reference to it already. I'm not sure the direction you want to take it this time around. What I want to talk about in reference to the use of pedestrian cross. You seem to have some concerns about it. I want to hear your concerns about it, and maybe we could expand on it a little bit some more in terms of that.
GT, you're a driver yourself. And I'm talking now, you have a crossing, for example, in those crossings in town on the Melville Street area.
Especially that goes to that mall area between that and the one of the phone companies there.
Digicel and right. Okay. So you have that crossing there. You have one in front of Republic Bank. Mm-hmm. Yet persons would walk down from Cross Street and just go across the road there and not use the crossing. And I must stop to allow them to cross.
Well, was it on Saturday or Friday? I got a cursed off from someone crossing the road. Yeah. All right. If you understand, if you're coming from, let's say, Fish Market direction,
okay,
Fish Market direction, right, and you're going to go park use the car park in the back of the mall. I'm coming. Someone is coming from the tunnel direction who wants to use now to go to Granby Street or whatever.
Yes, so they get to the middle.
So they stop. Somehow they're stopped on the pedestrian cross because of the amount of traffic that build up. A group of individuals now crossing, but they are behind that vehicle. The part that I will use to go to the tunnel is free, so I'm proceeding to drive, and they just bullshit from behind the car and telling me that maybe first time I come in town. I mean, understand, but you were coming, and you know most of the time you're a driver, so you know there's that blind angle on your right when you're driving. Yes. So I'm not seeing them coming. You understand? So I had to take a sudden break. So you understand, but I know usually pedestrians supposed to wait until you have been given the from the driver order to cross the street.
You make eye contact.
Make eye contact across the street, and you crossing in the back of a vehicle and getting upset with me because I see my path open at the time. If I see you coming, it's only obvious I would not try to drive if you crossing. You understand? So that's where, folks getting more knowledge how to use pedestrian crossing Grenada is very, very important.
I think so. A program is needed.
We still have that Bonksmina kind of mentality.
And
with the vast amount of vehicles on island, no, people are still,
on the crossing, they take their time as if they're on a catwalk, and they're modeling across. They're not. You're supposed to brisk walk across.
I had the police here already come on this program and laid out details in terms of the use of pedestrian crosses. You understand? The proper use, make eye contact, alert the driver that you want to cross. Sometimes you could say, sir, or whoever is there, you make a sign or signal that will draw their attention that you want to cross. You understand? And it leaves up to the driver to decide whether he's going to stop or not. Sometimes, you understand? But you make sure you alert the driver, and you make sure that driver comes to a complete stop, and then you cross. But some folks will see the vehicle coming and just walk across. And there are folks who take their good time and stroll across. Someone's on cell phones and having conversation while they're crossing the street.
As you mentioned, cell phones. The new fad now is to have these AirPods,
which kind of impaired from making you not hearing horn blowing at you and so forth. There are countries where that is not permitted.
Yes,
in terms of use in the streets. You understand?
And some of them walking with their back to the traffic.
Yeah,
right, with the AirPods. I remember stopping one day and telling a young man, I said, but you have this, you can't hear the horn. And instead of saying, well, sorry, and
they will suddenly give you a cursing.
Yes.
Suddenly give you I know, as you mentioned that, it happened to me that I was like, I didn't really engage and get into a debate to the individual, but I was saying, you were trying to cross up the back of a vehicle.
Oh, well.
How am I supposed to have seen you coming? You understand? Mm-hmm. I kind of laughed it off when he said, maybe first time I come in town. I kind of laughed it off and said, oh, that was like funny.
But the other thing as well, drivers must know that you don't ever stop on a pedestrian crossing,
and I mean, so we're talking about drivers too who makes that wrong decision, but actually
the traffic is not flowing. You can see it's not flowing as it should.
In some countries they're not ticketed offense.
Yes,
with that white line that you will see prior to the cross, and if your wheel is on that, you could be given a ticket. Mm-hmm. You understand? I have seen it happen already, just by stopping on that white line there. But we do things a bit different in Grenada for some reason or the other.
There's a crossing when you're leaving the bus terminal.
Yeah.
But persons who want to use it, they come off, drop from the bus, and just
walk across between
the islands.
You understand? Well, I mean, this is important. This is important that folks understand that the proper use of the pedestrian cross. And use it wisely. And sometimes the individual that do it is perceived to be adults.
Yes.
You understand? If maybe you forego a youngster or child who maybe may not fully understand and taking the chance, maybe their parents may have taught them how to use the street, but sometimes they make those mistakes. And sometimes the individuals who are doing those things on the pedestrian cross are adults. That's where the concern comes in even more. Mm-hmm. Adults is the one that are doing, I mean, I can't think about a better word to say right now, the foolishness.
Yeah.
You understand? Adults are the one that are doing that. Do you think more education is needed in terms of the proper use of and I said I had the police, myself and Mr. McIntyre, we spoke about that numerous times. This is not a first-time conversation.
Okay.
This is not a first-time conversation. I do have the police here, especially I had the traffic department, more than one occasion had that conversation in terms of the proper use of the pedestrian cross. And we still see individuals, maybe they're not listening to a program like this, or maybe they just don't care in terms of when the information is disseminated to them, they just don't care about it. I am my own person, so I will use the roads how I want.
So it means that you don't care about your life.
There are countries where if you don't use a pedestrian cross and you walk by, and for God forsake this, that a car is coming, they would not pay attention if they knock you down.
Oh no.
You know, I had a friend that lost her life in Trinidad because of the mere fact that she thought she was in Grenada. She just crossed the street,
yeah,
and her body was just left there. The car didn't even stop. You understand? I mean, God forbid that doesn't happen in Grenada, but you know, and we don't want to get into that stage.
I also believe, GT, that pedestrians should be ticketed as well for jaywalking. You know,
I once asked a police officer about that on the program, and I didn't get a proper response about that.
I think so.
Some countries jaywalking is ticketable.
Yes.
You know, just how you cross the street in that selfless, don't care manner. And we see it happening, especially within the town of St. George.
Yes.
We see that happening.
That's where it happens a lot.
A lot within the town. Yeah. And I mean, sometimes the outer parishes, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
But sometimes we don't get the attention as we do because of the busyness within the town.
Right.
You know.
But you get to Brighton and Miners area, the Republic Bank, Scotia Bank, and persons would see the light. Your light is on green. They look up, they watch the light, and still
want to compete with you. Competing with you as a driver. They want to cross while
you're driving.
And also there's a concern also. Folks who like to walk to vehicles, maybe the traffic may have come to a stop for a wee bit. I think that's a bad practice. Where they like to walk to vehicles sometime in the back of you and stuff like that. I think that's a bad practice.
Very bad.
I mean, I certainly hope this conversation this morning will see some difference. You know, as I said, it's not a first-time conversation with this. I think this has been spoken about on numerous occasions in terms of just the way that folks should be using the pedestrian cross.
And you know, off the pedestrians, just a wee bit. I asked a police officer last week. The light is on red.
Yeah.
So you're not driving. Your vehicle is not in motion. Can you use your phone? And I was told no.
No, you can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Even then.
You could be given a ticket for using your vehicle, for using your phone, even though you stop.
You stop, yeah.
It's mentioned that you should probably pull off the side, pull off the road to use your phone. But once you're sitting in the vehicle on the main road, you're not supposed to. Except your vehicle is connected to a Bluetooth device or the sort, you can probably use it like that. You understand? But sometimes that too could be a distraction. Huh?
Yes.
And I heard someone speak about that the other day, and I never thought about it, because sometimes the nature of your conversation while you're driving could be a distraction.
Yes.
You know, so that you're driving, even though you're doing the Bluetooth connected and so forth, but just the nature of your conversation while driving could be a distraction. Someone could tell you something, and for some reason you just turn your head, and someone may stop in front of you. Someone may try to cross the street, and you know what can happen. You know, so sometimes it's just better to just don't do it at all. I know sometimes I have missed important calls, and I would just say, I'm driving, I'm not taking the call. I understand. So anyway, if you get vexed, call me there. That's in the phone. You understand? But I'm just saying, I am driving, so I'm not answering the phone. If I get to an area where I stop or I have parked, I may recall or something. But I have seen times, sometimes because with some devices, there's a slight distraction in terms of connecting the call.
Yes.
You may have to touch the radio.
You have to
imagine that second or two that you take, you know what can happen, right? So sometimes I just avoid it totally. You know, just for reasons of that nature. All right. We're due for a break. Let's take a break. It'll be our final break for the program. When we come back, I see the phones are going. We're going to entertain some calls from our listeners and viewers. They may want to chime in on the conversation we're having this morning. Maybe they may have a different perspective in terms of what we're talking about when we come back. Stay with us, folks. To the point. Classic Radio GBN TV. Let's take a break. When we come back, we continue with today's edition of To the Point. Don't touch it out.
School participating in the GBN carol singing competition.
For real?
For real, for real.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Me too!
He gave me beauty for ashes, turned my life around. He broke my chains and now I dance on solid ground. For all he's done to save me, I will raise my voice. I've got Jesus, so I've got joy.
St. George's Seventh-day Adventist Primary School will be participating in the GBN Carol Singing Competition. Come on out and be a part as we support our boys and girls.
Grenada, get ready! GBN and the Ministry of Education presents Christmas Harmony 1.0. The inaugural primary school choir singing competition. December 5th, 1 p.m. The Grenada Trade Center. 15 schools, magical voices, and fierce competition. Cheer for your favorites in categories like Overall Champion, Most Creative, Best Solo, and Best Group. Entrance, adults $10, children $5. Don't miss the holiday magic. Christmas Harmony 1.0, where Grenada's brightest and youngest voices shine. Be there.
Grenada Get Ready, GBN, the Ministry of Education, and the Division of Culture proudly presents Christmas Harmony 1.0, the inaugural primary school carol singing competition. Join us on Friday, December the 5th at 1 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Magical voices, festive spirit, and exciting competition await. Tickets, adults $10, children $5. Christmas Harmony 1.0, no better place to be. Be there.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point here on Classic Radio and GBN TV. I say once again, welcome to those of you who are listening at home. In this segment, as I mentioned, Mr. McPhail, we're going to take a couple of calls. Let's see how, of course, our listeners and viewers may want to chime in on the conversation this morning. Let's see what they do have to offer. We do have a first caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Oh, yes. Good morning, GT. How are you today?
Doing good, sir. How are you this morning?
Oh, just quiet. A long time morning to your guest.
All right.
Good morning.
Let me deal with one. With respect to this rarely used roads, minor roads, I think what we need to do is highlight road sign, fluorescent. Road leads to X, road leads to Y. If we have this, I think that will solve a lot of the problem. With respect to the crossing by the terminus in particular, I believe what should they have, I decided to have an open and closing gate there, automatic gate. So as you release the light, the gate is open, and so pedestrian can cross within a 5 or 10 minutes period, and then it closes back. That system has helped. But the Nawasa matter, I have a problem with that, because Nawasa dig up the road ever so often, this long distance. I am wondering if through the planning division of Nawasa, and maybe a general planning division, find out what is the volume of water we need for the city. What is the volume of water we need from Annandale to Grand Anse? And within a period of maybe 10 to 15 years, yeah? And we match that with the size of line. So what is the volume of water? The volume of water is X, so we need 8-inch, 12-inch, 14-inch, 15-inch. That's going to carry all the water to the south, and then we reduce to the by roads, the villages, and so forth. But we shouldn't have to dig up the road every 5 years and put down maybe just 1 inch different, 2 inch different. And I think that is a problem here. We need to carry a larger line down to the city. Right? So we have what they call 14-inch, and that will carry all the water units for a number of years. And then that, I believe, is going to solve the problem. But the planning division have to work those out. They have to do that very quickly, because we cannot find the money to actually dig up and what you have in here now and pave back. It's a financial problem there. And I say that's what is giving us the problem. So the solution is carry the line where you need the volume of water, and over 10 to 15 years, that is going to solve the problem before you dig up again and put down a new line. Because when you look at the road there, under the road, it have maybe, in some cases, about 10 lines under the road, and you will not believe that I saw that. So I think we need to solve that problem. There are too much lines under the road carrying small amount of water instead of having one main line of 20 inches carrying all the waters that we need, and then we alternate to the various village. I think that's going to solve the problem.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you, caller. I'm not sure about the technical parts of the size of the lines and stuff. Water thing is not my field. The folks of the WhatsApp may understand that, but I do understand where the caller is coming from. You understand? I don't understand where he's coming from. He made a point in terms of having a lock gate. I'm not sure how that's going to work.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if that's going to work in terms of it's closing and then reopens when when folks wants to pass.
Yeah, I'm not, because you remember the buses are going in.
Yeah.
Coming out. I'm not sure about the gate.
I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Yeah. Well, let's take another caller. Caller live. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning, GT. How are you?
Doing good, sir. How are you this morning?
Okay, and good morning to the gentleman.
Good morning.
Yeah, well, you're so right about this thing, but the police should do something like they should have something on the television, a video of showing people all the different routes and direction that you could have. Not every day, but you have it at certain, maybe after the news or something, teaching people what to do. Because a lot of people don't know these roads are existing, but a lot of people don't know them. And because they don't know them, they don't want to take a chance and go there. In this modern time, they can also make a long video, put it on an app and put it on your phone. So when you're home and you're relaxing, you could look at that and you'll start learning all the different routes in down in St. George. It's like for some people that get the license maybe in Sotes, Grenville, and they want to Victoria, all these places. They never drive down here, but they're coming down, and then when they go in, they're doing the normal route. I've of them doing the normal route, and that's helping child the traffic. But if they learn these by roads and things on the phone, when they get there, they're able to do it. Yes. Secondly, I visited a neighboring country one of our neighbors, and they have more vehicles than us. They have one traffic light, and it's not working. No. There's police only in the town. They don't have no, how they call it, traffic warden. No traffic warden. You're not seeing police up and down and bike and doing all these things. But what we observe and what you notice, the drivers, everyone know what they have to do, and they're just doing it clean, clear. This stopping all about the one side craziness. No. The men ain't doing that. They look at bus, you stopping a bus, it wrong a corner here, they stopping wrong corner, anything. The men pulling over on the next side where the road is wide, they drop off, because if they only stop, they have so much vehicle there, that will congest the traffic. These people are this thing real organized. And if we do that, now they're going to say they're too outdated, they're not modernized. So they don't have to spend all this money for traffic. The people doing exactly obeying the rules. Policemen, you may hardly see you don't see police, but it's only in the town where they have to direct the traffic because they're not using no traffic light. And they maybe police are wrong, but they're using more police not in uniform. Like natural clothes maybe are wrong. Even the buses, when I look at the buses, I wonder how the buses is like that. When I talk to somebody, they say, no, we don't buy these buses for $250,000. And no, we're buying a sales van, and we're modifying it to suit our passengers and things. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. And I think I know of the island that he's speaking about. But he made a point. You know, I mean, we in Grenada here, we're different how we do things. You know, and some other countries there's a more coordinated effect, you know, effect around with the regular people and the drivers will say in terms of how they go about doing things. Could we follow suit? I don't know, but Glen Live, good morning, welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Program. Yes, I want to make a contribution as it relates to same traffic. The question of the tractor trailers, as they are called in the U.S., the trailer trucks, and also the road tankers. The road tankers are carrying highly flammable fuel. We are aware of that. But if they can choose a time in the morning or afternoon or night where there is not that heavy flow of traffic, in the event there is an accident. The trailer going down to the southern part of the island, look at the congestion. The road is densely populated with vehicular traffic, okay? And they are going to the south with a 40-foot container. Sometimes they are person as the guide to alert motorists that, listen, this equipment is passing. They are way ahead. And then an accident had occurred once going around a corner in Grand Anse where the container tipped over. It was the mercy of the Almighty that no one got hurt. Should that happen and fall on a minibus? Should that happen and fall on some people in the vehicles? I think some coordination needs to be done. Listen, we cannot do things as usual. Life is about change and adjustment, and I'll be happy if that can be implemented. Thanks, bro.
Thank you, caller. And good point. You know, I saw that happen last night in terms of a trailer, and I was saying, couldn't that? It was a trailer was carrying an excavator in the back of it, trying to come down the Maras Hill area, and had to have the traffic at a standstill for at least 20 minutes. I was saying, at the time of the day, you understand, we're talking a little after 6 p.m. But couldn't that have been done later on in the night? Or probably earlier in the morning? Sunday. When the traffic, even though it was Sunday, but what I'm saying, the particular time of the day that they chose to do it. You understand? Mm-hmm. You think about doing that around maybe, midnight. You want to transport that excavator to a site. You do it around that time. But there's less vehicles on the road. And I think, even at the caller even speak about, the tankers and stuff, the time of the day. And I think the norms and stuff need to have a bit of redirection.
Yeah, because what you find happening is that they tend to drive any time of the day. There's no particular time. No.
One particular gas entity needs gas, and they feel I have to drop it off at 11 o'clock. They do it at 11. They do it at 11 o'clock in the day. Mm-hmm. You understand? We do have another caller. Caller Live, good morning. You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
GT, I have a big concern as it relates to that of now, sir. And the thing is that I'm not talking about the main pipes that they are running with respect to the development and so on. I'm talking about where they cut the road many times across the road from side to side. And these cuttings are very big, some are very deep. And to be quite honest with you, I think these are things that could be fixed quickly, in the sense of just having some cement and so they could fix back this. But these spend weeks and months and so. And we as drivers, most time we reach at this point, if you forget them, your vehicle is very hard, which is causing damages to your suspension. So I am calling on NASA that they should fix this timely cut across the roads, and so in a timely manner, so to avoid problems for drivers and so. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, caller. Case in point, of course, great contribution there in relation to that. Yeah. Good contribution there. I have a comment from someone via the WhatsApp. They're saying, I'm trying to find out why the carnage has become a garage next to one of those restaurants there, and so they want to know who have placed the vehicles there, and they hope that they have it removed and as soon as possible. Have you ever noticed a couple of cars on the carnage? I think it has become like a garage just opposite the plaza area there.
I was trying to picture where. Okay.
I think we lost the caller. 435-204, and we still have some time to accommodate a couple more calls. It's just moving up to 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Let's take another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Concerning the trailer and the tankers on the road, right? I know it might sound or look different, but it's modern times. But a lot of the tankers that go into the south actually goes to the airport, right, on a daily basis. So probably that cannot be happen at night. And some of the container haulers, they most time have to reach your destination at certain times because they're delivering goods and stuff like that, and then they have to be cleared from the port, otherwise charges will be placed on them. And on the case with where you probably saw the excavator moving on the road at a certain time, that probably came from a work site because they're paid by the hour, they're charged by the hours. So when they're finished working, they have to move, regardless of what time of the day, because if they remain on the site, they have to pay for it. So it look like they're doing things out of order, but it's business. Okay?
We hear you, caller. We hear you. But I still do have a different opinion to the caller in terms of the movement, especially the civilian.
Yeah, and
I understand the time and money. What I'm saying,
I'm not quite sure if it stays on the site if you have to pay.
I would think
that's downtime.
If it's not being used, and you said, well, it's going to stay there till 8 o'clock tonight, that I'm moving at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't think you would have to pay.
I don't think there may have to be a cost for it.
No,
maybe I'm wrong. We do have a caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, GT. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great. Let's hear from you.
Yes, the contribution that the caller make by the coronage. I tried calling in when you had the officers, the community relation department earlier on last week, but it was futile. I guess the program went a little overtime, and I could have brought that to their attention. But there is a lot of derelict vehicles. Just after you pass Pizza Hut, you're going up there, you'll notice our old school RAV4 green one with other vehicles. They started that process on the side. So I think the RGPF needs to pay key attention to that. And also, I think that they need to do the regular patrols in various communities, like areas like Marlin and other areas where the traffic does get congested, using the scooter, because the police force has a lot of scooter. They even have bikes in some instances. So if we could get these smaller motorcycles to go through the traffic and try and clear the traffic while some of these works are being conducted by the NAWASA. The work won't last forever, but at the same time, we cannot slow down the production with employees, because the majority of people that are going to work on a morning is to get to our organization to get work done. So the earlier that they could arrive, it's much better. So if we could get the RGPF traffic department particularly to assist us in that form, that will be good. So more patrols by the officers and less with the buses, because right now the buses has it tough as it is for themselves. So let us put some more emphasis on clearing the traffic and also clearing the roadside parking areas where you should not have parking going on. So they should do more traversing within the rural areas, just a little bit off St. George's and peak areas. That's my contribution.
Thank you, caller. Great contribution. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. So McPhail, I think we're getting to where we go take a wrap. We do have a final caller, and then we take a wrap for today. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Hi. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
I'm good. I'm calling from Paradise Junction. And I'm calling to say that NAWASA make a mess in my junction. Right in front, we are selling my car. There is a big trench there. When rainfall, if I don't get somebody to pull it up, the water will pitch up on me. And then the Cuddy drain, the Cuddy road to run the pipe, and they block one drain. So the water don't run in at all. It might take it time and just sip. And that drain is keep on smelling. So I asked NAWASA if they could come back and check out Susan and the junction, because we really need an urgent care in the junction, because it's really smelling bad. And in front of me where I was in the can, it's making me lose customers. And I want to open a pot shop right in front there because every time the vehicle go down there, boodung, I know they go to buy a pot. So I might do better with pots. So have a good day, my brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She want to switch from selling corn to selling parts.
Selling parts.
You know, I want to thank you once again for, of course, and I want to thank all the callers for their contribution this morning. A lot of positive contributions, and I certainly do appreciate that. Yeah. Anything in closing, Mr. McPhail?
Well, in closing, I wish to see some of the humps around the island being painted and the pedestrian crossings as well. I would love to see them being highlighted. Recently, some was done in the city, where they painted them, but outside we need to paint a few of them as well.
Okay. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. I want to thank all our listeners and viewers this morning. Thank you so much. Join us again. Certainly hope you'll be back with us. I hope Mr. McIntyre will join us next week hopefully. Yeah. Thank you once again. Have a good one, folks. That's where we say goodbye for today's edition of To The Point. Goodbye.